All you got to do to have more money is start working on you and your energy. Like I say, all you got to do. It's that simple and that hard all at once, because energy is not just, your get up and go in the morning. It's everything. It's your emotions. It's the traumas you're not looking at. It's the energetics. It's the stories you're believing about yourself. It's how you make your past mean something about you right now, which is impacting your future.
Welcome to the Energy Upgrade podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa Grutman. And if you are a high-achieving woman, a successful entrepreneur, an inspiring entrepreneur, or just a woman with kick-ass big dreams, you're in the right place. If you value your energy, your health, if you want to be a biohacker, tap into longevity, if you want to raise the impact you have in this lifetime, you're going to have a lot of fun around here. As a second-time seven-figure business creator, certified health practitioner, and soul biohacker, I'm here to reconnect you to your energy, to the soul of your business, and to your superpowers. Let's go. Welcome home.
Welcome back to another episode of the Energy Upgrade podcast. This is your host, Vanessa Grutman. And today I want to talk about the concept of masculine and feminine energy when it comes to money. I don't know about you, but it feels like the money topic is big this year in 2025. I am seeing it in all of my clients. I am seeing it in all of the women that are in my DMs on Instagram. It is so big. And so in today's conversation, I really invite you to just be curious, as always, when you're listening to my podcast, but, really just ask yourself, contemplate everything I'm going to say, and just ask yourself where you fit in, and what you think could be shifted. What I'm noticing is literally there's a new paradigm to success. I can feel this in every cells of my being. In fact, I feel it so much that I think it's becoming more and more my soul's mission. Like, I feel I'm here to show women that there's another way, because that I have been able to build a multiple seven-figure business in the hustle. I know how to do this. I know you know how to do this too. And I've done it. I've done the masculine overdrive. I've done it. And now it's like I've been given the codes to actually build the same level of success, but in a way that feels like, and I'm very careful with using the word effortless, because I don't want you to think that I'm just sitting around and just like wasting my time and money flows to me. It's not at all how it works. And we'll go into this, but it feels dramatically different. And I feel like I've been given the codes to help women remember just how powerful we are, and help women remember that there's another way. We don't have to necessarily have success at the expense of our nervous system regulation. We can redefine now what success means to us. We have that capacity. I always say, as women, we get to create life. That's just how potent we are. And so there's this difference, this shift right now between masculine and feminine money in what I'm seeing. And I want you to ask yourself where you are on the spectrum. And this is not coming from a place of judging, because listen, I've been on every place on the spectrum here. So I'm not judging. I'm really just trying to bring awareness to this. But the old way of making money, let's call it the old way, which is the way we've seen men make money, because men have been the only ones. Basically, they've been the holders of money for thousands of years. Right? Like, if you think of it, women, we've only been able to open bank accounts for what? Like 70 years, maybe? That's it. And so what we've been seeing in men making money is this masculine way, which is, of course, strong leadership, strong vision, but really anchored into doing. So what we, as women, what we've defaulted to is, okay, the more I am doing, the more I can earn. So, of course, that created this vicious circle of hustling, forcing, having to do more, having to have more on the to-do list. And I know that this was the truth for me. In my previous business, literally, the busier I was, the more I felt, the more I felt like I was worthy. The more my schedule was packed, the better I was. So I thought. The more labels and titles, and the more I was able to define myself through awards and newspaper articles and whatever, the more I thought I was worthy of money. But when you think about that, like how freaking twisted is that? Like money is an energy. It's an energy that we've decided to put over an exchange of service. Why is my worth having to do with that? Of course I'm worthy. I made it to the, like, on this planet. Every single human that made it here is a miracle. And so why am I weaving my worth and my belief and my self-trust into the money conversation? But we all do that. We all do that. And as women, when we go into this masculine overdrive, what that looks like is usually because we feel like we are not enough, because we feel like an imposter, because we feel like we are not like adequate, let's say. We tend to overcompensate through doing, through like, and we're really good at this. We are really good at making stuff happen. Like we are. And so we rely on these survival skills that we have, which are not our innate skills, but they are our survival skills, and they help us survive into this world and thrive into this world. I'm going to take that back. Not thrive, survive into this world. Because when you learn the real way that you can thrive as a woman into this world, is completely different. But what's really interesting is when you're starting to hustle and do more in order to receive more. I remember I used to think, okay, I'm making this much per month. If we want to make more every month, then we got to do more. It's the only way I could see it. And even as you're listening to this, I want you to pay attention to, what triggers you, and you're probably like, well, of course, it's the only way, because that took me a while to actually understand that no, it is not. And this is, we have to break free from this like employee type of mindset where we link our worth to $1 per hour type thing. Like this is really the masculine overdrive. And so it's really important to notice right now, if you are in this masculine energy when it comes to how you handle money, you are tough with it, you are hard with it, it's got to bleed for you to be able to earn it. You don't really receive it, you take it for granted, you move on to the next thing, like you're rough. That would be the more masculine energy around money. Interestingly, I strongly believe this now. Of course, that never even crossed my mind before. But as I'm building this new business, and as I'm, now generating millions in a whole new way, I like to see money as feminine. I like to see money as like a goddess. I like to see money as just a currency we've decided to give to put value on energy exchange, like on our energy, literally. And what's interesting is when you start looking at this, when you're able to start noticing that you're stuck into this masculine energy and you start softening to it, just first of all, by being aware, and you start just looking at how you go through life, even with your partners. And I think I've shared this on the podcast before, but I will bring it up again with my husband, Phil. I was so deep in masculine overdrive, like and I will say this was a wounded masculine energy, because it was rooted in feeling like I wasn't enough, like I was not adequate enough. And so I was overcompensating through doing. I was doing this at home as well. I was doing this in our relationship, because also I grew up, and it's no fault of anybody, but I grew up just like fetching for myself, like just thinking, okay, my brother had Down syndrome. My parents were busy. My dad was an entrepreneur trying to run a business. He was literally working from 7 to 10 p.m. at night. Like, they were busy. So if I needed something done, I had to do it. I had to do it myself. If I wanted something done differently, I had to look for it. I had to get stuff done. And this is how I grew up thinking, if I want something done, I'm not going to ask anybody else. I'm going to take care of it myself. I'm going to do it myself. It'll be easier. It'll be faster. It'll be done. Then we can move forward. And as I'm saying this, I'm sure a lot of you are relating to this, because I'm noticing that most of my clients who are very high achieving women like me have a very similar storyline in their childhood or teenage years, where they just had to figure it out. And so what that means is suddenly that is instilling really early on this hard energy, where it's like, I have to do it myself. Everybody else is busy. No, like, not that nobody cares about me, but kind of like they don't care enough to help me with this. And a lot of CEOs, a lot of business owners bring this energy into their business, where they don't really delegate. They hoard work in order to feel like they're accomplishing more than anyone else. I used to be like that. And it's not something great. It's also absolutely not sustainable. Like, I found myself completely burnt out. So really interesting to look at where you are. But back to the relationship, because I had this mentality that, I'm not going to ask for help. I'm just going to do it myself. I ended up doing this at work, at home. And then we had kids, and ended up doing this in motherhood, to realize that that was absolutely ridiculous. But because I was so high in my masculine energy, this, like, feminine and masculine energy works like a polarity inside every single human, men or women. We have both. And so if I'm really high in my masculine energy and I never really stop, and I'm hustling and I'm going fast and I'm always going from one thing to the next and never really sitting down, which was me, then what happens to the partner is they can't be in their masculine energy. They can't be, because there can't be two people there at the same time, especially in a relationship. So they default back into a more, okay, I'll help with the kids, I'll care. Like, they'll default back into a more, we'll call it passive, although feminine energy is not passive, but we'll get to this in a moment. But what I realized is when I actually decided to intentionally and consciously drop down from my feminine into, from my masculine into my feminine, which was more like, allowing, opening my heart, allowing myself to receive some support and help, being comfortable, being vulnerable, saying, hey, can you help me with this? I'm struggling with this. Can you help? I remember the first few times that I did that, I was shocked that my husband was like, I got you. Yeah, I'll do it. No problem. Yeah, I'm on it. And it was done. And I'd be like, what? Wait, what? Like, we've been together for this long, and like all this time you were waiting, like you were available for this. I remember being shocked. And he was like, well, it seemed like you wanted to do it by yourself, or it seemed like you didn't ask for help, or you looked like you were in control, so I didn't want to mess around. You looked like you were on a mission, so I got out of the way. And I was like, holy shit. And I'm saying this because this is how powerful it is to realize when we are in masculine overdrive, because if that's the impact in a relationship, which is visible, like you can see it, imagine the invisible impact on your money energy. It's the same. It's the same. You become a repellent to money. When you are hustling because you don't think you are worth it, you are hustling to prove that you belong in the room, that you are hustling to prove that you deserve to have this title. You hustle to, and that's because we've been shown that this is the way to the top. It's dangerous. It's dangerous because our nervous systems have not been wired for this. Our body is not, it's not sustainable. Our body is not able to thrive in those circumstances. It's harder on us. We are making it so damn hard on us. If money feels inconsistent, stressful, or just harder than it should be, then your energy is what's out of alignment. You don't make money anymore. We know that this is an endless loop leading to burnout. You attract money. And if your energetic field isn't calibrated for this type of wealth, then no strategy will work the way it should. That's why I created the Money Energy Bundle, the key to unlocking this more feminine way of connecting and being a match for abundance. This is how I've been able to build my business from 0 to 1 million in cash in less than 17 months. Inside this bundle, you'll get 3 exclusive powerful masterclasses on wealth energetics, all the things you need to know and be aware of. But in order for you to also integrate this learning, I'm also including an energy clearing activation to clear any old blocks around money, as well as a wealth meditation to help you rewire your frequency and your money story. But also, all of this bundle is going to be there to help you expand your capacity to not only receive, but hold money. Because believe it or not, money wants to come into your life right now. But are you in a contracted state? Are you allowing it to come in? What I know now is that money flows to women who know how to hold it. You can grab instant access to the Money Energy Bundle for just $111 for a limited time only. You can grab the link in the show notes or DM me on Instagram the word money, and I will send you all the information to get started. I hope to see you in there. And so I'm sharing this today because I'm noticing this pattern. It's one thing to be aware of it, but to shift it is so hard. And all it requires is to actually start by creating space in our life and start by creating awareness. And space is actually when we get to drop out of busy hustle and into receiving, being, observing, being curious, being vulnerable, noticing, hearing the little voice. Because our feminine energy is our ability to be creative. It's our ability to be like the givers and the receivers. It's our ability to be in a goddess mode. It's our ability to be magnetic. I invite you right now to think about a boss you had. I have one in my mind who was like literally running like a chicken with no head in the office, like the one that had like the big steps. You could tell the minute she walked into the office, you could tell it was her. And you could tell that this was like layers of conditioning and like it's not our true nature as women, but she had become. So think about this woman boss that you had that was just like rough, and it was hard. And like, did she look magnetic? No, absolutely not. Most of the time, she looked like hardcore, scary as hell. She didn't look healthy. She didn't look at all like her energy was on point. She looked burnt out, drained, but was faking it to make it. That's not the vibe anymore. That's not how we're going to unleash this incredible, infinite amount of success that wants to pour through you. It's going to be by allowing yourself to trust yourself, to trust that you are worthy, to believe that you have special codes, that you are here to create a change, to support and to be in service, and to trust yourself so much that you actually allow yourself to lean back. You allow yourself to receive. You allow yourself to just go softer, to speak with your heart more than with your head. And you can realize probably even just you right now, as you're listening, you probably are even finding yourself dropping into your chair. Maybe you're just feeling a little bit more relaxed. You can maybe even pick up the tone of my voice when I'm talking about this goddess. Because the feminine wealth energetics is how we quantum leap. It's how we're suddenly able to magnetize our ideal clients. It's how our energy starts speaking louder than our words. Our energy starts leaking through our marketing, leaking through anything that we write, anything that we speak. It becomes who we are. It becomes bigger than who we are. But as high achieving women, we have been conditioned for so long that it actually takes a while to deconstruct this old way. You know, you hearing this is one first step, but it's so hard on a day to day. Even myself, from time to time, I can catch myself going back into this old mode of trying to do more in order to get more. And every time the universe is showing me, no, I'm not going to send you more business that way, because it's time for you to start, noticing that this is an old pattern, and you got to get rid of it. You know, even sometimes in my launches, when I'm pushing something too hard, I'm not going to get the results. And at first, I'm like, oh man, what does that make? Like, what does that mean about me? And then it's like, oh no, okay, yep, I see the teachings, I see the learning in here. I pushed too hard. I hustled on this. And of course, it was felt. So it's very, very interesting. You've mastered strategy. You've done the mindset work. So why does scaling your business still feel so heavy? Your energy is your business. If your body, nervous system, and wealth frequency aren't calibrated for the level you're trying to step into, then success will always feel like this uphill battle. This is why I created Fam Biohacker, a 12-month coaching experience where we merge energy, business, and biohacking so you can scale without burning out, without forcing or hustling. Inside, you'll learn to optimize your body, expand your wealth capacity, upgrade your identity, and follow energy alignment so that success can flow as you know it should. If you're ready to build a business that matches your energy and unlocks your feminine energy, then it's time to step into Fam Biohacker. You can learn more in the link in bio or DM me on Instagram the word FAM, and I will send you all the details to get you started. Together, let's make feminine success feel supernatural like it should be. And when you start cracking the code on this, you realize that money literally is an extension of you. Therefore, all you got to do to have more money is start working on you and your energy. Like I say, all you got to do. It's that simple and that hard all at once, because energy is not just, your get up and go in the morning. It's everything. It's your emotions. It's the traumas you're not looking at. It's the energetics. It's the stories you're believing about yourself. It's how you make your past mean something about you right now, which is impacting your future. Like all of this plays into the equation of quantum physics. I wish it was simpler or easier, but there's a reason why not everybody's cracked the code on this. It's heavy work. It's real work. But at the same time, I'm glad it's real work because it is healing work. When you start doing this work, it will heal you in ways you can't even expect. You will become a brand new person. And I'm like rapidly. I'm thinking about, I started this coaching business, January 2023. So it's been just over 2 years. The women I am right now compared to the women I was, it's just crazy to think back. Even sometimes I scroll through photos and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's wild. And so when you allow your heart to soften, when you allow your guards to go down, when you start trusting yourself and you start trusting the process as well, knowing you are guided along the way, there's something that will shift. And sometimes it's like you'll have micro evidences, they'll come, they'll be small, and you'll be tested. You'll be tested also around your patience, but eventually it's all going to lead into the right direction as you start, leaning in and hearing the calls and following your energy. So I wanted to shed light on this feminine way versus masculine way of making money because I see this as being a massive, massive shift. And it's very important that we lean into it, that we open our heart, that we are curious about it, because there's no way this old way of making business, this old way of making money is sustainable, and we know it now. and we have tons and tons and tons of proofs. And hopefully I can be one of those proofs for you. Hopefully I'm able to mirror this back to you as a possibility. And because this has been like, it's been at the center of so many conversations I've had with the women, especially in Femme Biohacker, which are still wired to go deep on strategies. And then we go back and we're back in our heart and we're back following our energy. And then suddenly it takes us somewhere completely different, somewhere that's just incredible with results that we never could have expected. And it's so cool to witness that journey of transformation. And it's so cool to see it in the 3D, that it's actually the way it happens. And so it actually gets to be this fun, because when you stop taking yourself so seriously, when you stop being so rooted in this need to feel like you are worthy, and you just know you are, wow, like life becomes a lot easier. Like it really does. It becomes lighter. And if we are here, it is to just enjoy the journey. It's just to have fun. It's to experience bliss. It's not meant to be an experience that is hurtful. But if you find yourself confronted to hardships after hardships after hardships, the invitation for you, especially around money, is to look at the patterns you're not allowing yourself to see about yourself, because there's nobody else creating that reality but you. And I know that's painful, especially when your money situation and when your life situation is not the way you want. But realizing we are the ones creating it every single day through our thoughts, because our thoughts create our reality. So what do we believe about ourselves? What is in our subconscious? What do we need to dig out that might be getting in the way and creating a distorted reality that is not aligned with your desires? Now, this conversation could go on for hours. And in fact, that's why I decided this wealth conversation is so big. I decided to create something called the Money Energy Bundle. Now, this is basically a collection of 3 really powerful masterclasses that I did especially for this program, where I basically will present to you some of those thoughts that might be in your subconscious. I will help you clear some of those blocks so that your energetic field around money can be better. Now that you have heard about feminine energy, you can bring that conversation also into the Money Energy Bundle and have that level of awareness. But that bundle is so powerful. And I realize, like I said, it is part of my mission to talk about the energetics around wealth. It is part of my mission to also show, like, to shift the paradigm of success and show that women that there's another way. And that involves going softer and really tapping into our magnetism instead of shutting it down, opening it and tapping into this goddess that you are and that you were meant to be. And so the Money Energy Bundle is something I want to offer for a limited time. I don't know for how long it'll run. I'm giving it at a no-brainer price because I want as many women as possible having access to this level of information. So it's going to be released at $100.11 instead of $444. I want as many people to be able to have access to this. And then because I don't want this to be just another course that just fills your brain, because again, it's not going to be about what you're thinking. It's about, well, your thoughts, of course, but most importantly, it's going to be about how you integrate this teaching and allowing you to evolve in your identity. So I've also included a wealth meditation that will help rewire your money story and your money frequency, as well as an energy clearing session around money. Because sometimes, let's face it, we're like, our situation is hard. Maybe you're having a hard time paying your bills. Maybe you're having a hard time paying back some debt. Maybe you're having a hard time shifting some of the thoughts you have around you and money. And so I've included this powerful energy clearing session that you can literally do every day. It's inspired by Kundalini, and it's something I do from time to time when I feel like I need to reset my energy around money. When I'm in a funk, I'll go and do this exercise, and it's mind-blowing what it does. It just opens your field of possibility. So this bundle is incredible. Plus, this was very important to me. I designed a journaling workbook to go along with this bundle because, again, I don't want this just to be teachings that stay in your head. I want you to contemplate. I want you to write, to journal on it. I want you to, press pause and maybe go for a walk and go for a cry or go for whatever you need to do to move the energy and then come back to it. I want you to have a trail. I want you to have something tangible that you can go back to as well in order for you to integrate and embody those teachings. So the Money Energy Bundle is available now. The link is going to be in the show note. You can also DM me on Instagram, the word money, and I will send you the link. It's available now for a limited time. I'm so excited because listen, if we can all decide to shift the way we magnetize money, the way we shift our own energy, and we can start taking radical responsibility for that. Can you imagine how this world is going to become a different place very soon? And that's the hope I have. That's the light I bring because I truly believe this. I know this. I can see it already, what this new world is going to look like once we all are able to shift this paradigm and finally embrace the incredible women we were here to be, the incredible, powerful women we were here to embody. And so I'm very excited to have put this together. I hope that you find tons of value. I know you will. And if you are joining us in the Money Energy Bundle, feel free to connect with me. Feel free to let me know how this resonates with you on Instagram, because this is also very important for me to make sure that it is serving you always with the highest intention and integrity. Now, for all of you podcast listeners, also, I want to remind you how your reviews on Apple Podcasts are just so important in helping me make sure this work is available to more women like you who are successful, who are wanting another way, who can feel in every cells of their being that there's a different way. So if you've been enjoying this podcast, if you've been enjoying this free information I provide you week after week, now for more than 100 episodes, I invite you to take literally 30 seconds and go rate the podcast with a 5-star review so that it can help me not only find motivation to keep going, but also help me make this podcast more available and in front of more eyes of the right people. I want to thank you for being here week after week. I hope that this episode enlightened you. I hope that it ignited something inside of you. Hopefully it will. And if anything, at least just a possibility and a curiosity. Again, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again next week as always. Bye for now. The information shared on this podcast is for information purposes only and doesn't provide any medical advice. Vanessa Grutman does not cure, diagnose, or treat disease. Please consult your physician before trying any new protocol or product.